Yesterday morning when I got up, it was pretty chilly. So last night before I went to bed, I set up the wood stove and fired it up this morning. I got to tell you, it is absolutely, absolutely incredible how warm and toasty it is having a wood stove in here again. I'm going to pay for it a little later on, but I can open a window up. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Well, the weather changed drastically. I'm thinking today may be a laundry day. I'm not doing any work on the shed. I need coffee first, though. Uh-oh. My door blew open on my trailer. Need to go over there and latch that. The chickens are not happy. A little bit of rain, but it's not bad. Just being lazy, I don't want to move the ladder. There we go. Just trying to get an idea of the length I need for metal roofing and how much of this back I am going to trim off. Shut up, Sam. There's 13. There's 14. There is 15 feet. I want to do a jig that goes from straight up and down here, where I can push the board straight up and down, and then it'll run all the way down, and I can mark off where that's going to go. And then I'll show you a trick I'm going to use to get a straight cut on the end. So all of these will be the same length coming off the back of the roof, but then I need that flat angle, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. See this pile of cut ends here? I'll take that one. Those are all the end cuts that I made to square up and straighten off that front where the fascia is going to be on there. And if I take this, I might need a ladder for this. I'm just a short guy. And I lay it on there, I will have a template to cut that so that it is straight up and down. I should put a level on it and we'll see. All right. There we go. That's flush on top, and that is, I don't know if you can see that or not, that is a level cut right there. So just the opposite angle of the one on top. All right, I got my cheat sheet ready for everything on the upper and everything on the lower. I've got them all numbered 1 through 18. So lower 1 through 18 and upper 1 through 18. I've got a measurement for the rafters, but here's what I got left to do before I can even consider putting a roof on here. Number one, I want to get at least one course of siding up all the way around the bottom just to firm everything up and square it up. 2, I need to cut those blocks to the lower and the uppers and get those done. I can do that out of 2x6 material, and I have that here. 3, I need to go through and double check and make sure I got everything nailed off that needs to be nailed off securely and done. And then 4, I need to decide the absolute length of those rafters. I'm toying around with 15 feet, which means I would probably go 14 feet 11 inches, so I can have like a 1-inch overhang of the metal on the back. And then I need to get all of those cut and done. And then I could look at putting metal on here. So the nice thing is that there's a local Mennonite family that owns a company around here called North Star Metals, and I could call them up today and probably have the metal cut for tomorrow. Oh, and then I have to do the fascia on the front. It's got to extend out 18 inches on each side. The fascia across the back, it's got to extend out 18 inches on each side, because at that point I'll run the last 2 2x8s that I have down, and those will be my overhang 18 inches on each side. Oh, I just keep adding purlins on here. So my purlins are going to be 2 foot on center, which means I'm going to need the first one up at the top, and then I will go every 2 feet down. So you're figuring if I'm going to do 15 feet, let's call it 14 feet, I need 7 rows of purlins, and then I'll put 1 row on the very end. But I'll do that last. And I could install all the purlins from the top of the scaffolding and from the top of the scaffolding and from the top of the ladder as I work my way down, because eventually the scaffolding is going to get, I won't be able to get up there and do what I need to do, so I don't need to go on the roof until the last piece of metal. So every piece of metal from that side all the way over will be done from scaffolding and a ladder inside the cabin. I don't like getting on roofs. If I don't have to, I'm not going to do it. And then that last piece, I'll have to get on the roof to get that last piece installed. But that's where I'm at now. It's just a game of getting everything set up and ready to go before I get to the point where I could do what I got to do. Tomorrow, more than likely, I'll fire up the generator again, get the chop saw going and start nailing these pieces in. And I'll get all the blocking done. That's something I could do really easily. Yeah. That's all I got. That's all I got for right now. I need to make a jig though too. I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait to get that canopy down and put into the shop and get everything else that's out here put into the shop where it belongs. Clean up this whole yard. And the rain they keep saying is supposed to hit us isn't hitting us, so I'm just sitting outside relaxing, enjoying myself. All right, just made a lumber run. I've got 2 extra 2x6s, so I've got enough to finish the blocking on the roof up there. Then I got the 6 fascia boards, 3 for the front, 3 for the back, and 21 2x4x10 footers. So those will be the purlins that the metal roof will sit on. So rocking and rolling. There's another 420 bucks worth of lumber. Yeah. So now we're close to $3,500. take a chance with the wind. A little bit of lateral break. I know if I put sheets on it, it'll take off like a kite. Hate nailing those off. Okay, those are all done. And those are all done. Everything is done. I'm gonna have a beer. That's all I'm really gonna do for tonight anyway. So tomorrow I'll play around with fascias, and maybe I'll start doing the purlins on top. I'll need to get up there and pull those lines anyway. So yeah, we'll keep going on this and see where we get. So I don't know if you can see these, but give a pencil over here. There's the line right there. So it kind of looks off, but as you move, all of a sudden everything lines right up. There you go. So now's my favorite part. That's sarcasm, by the way. I'm getting the skill saw and cutting each one of these off. Makes it look so easy, it's crazy. Before anybody suggests that I get a better blade on my saw, I know this is the wrong blade, but it's got a 60 tooth for plywood, so it's got a really nice finish when it's done. So I got an X. Where are we at here? Right there? Yeah, I got an X right there. So that's where one stud's or one of the fascia boards is going to break. And then I got an X right there, and that's where the other fascia board's going to break. So yeah, I did that so that I'd remember. So a 2x10 is not 2 inches thick, and it's not 10 inches wide. It's a little over 9 1/4. So I kind of measured this before I'm going to have 2x4s as purlins, and the reason why I went with 2x4s is because of snow load and wind, obviously, the last couple of weeks. So I need to get 9 1/4. But basically, that's going to mean that the bottom of my fascia is going to be even with the bottom of the rafter. That is 9 1/4 right there. So if I go even all the way across, I'll have to kind of manipulate a rafter or two to get it all the way up, because I have a couple that had a pretty good crown in them. And the video that I released on building the deck, the subfloor on this, good call for everybody who pointed it out. I didn't crown any of the boards on the floor, and that wasn't intentional. I literally forgot. I did not put any blocking in the floor. That was intentional. I had intended to do blocking to begin with, and then Ward says, dude, you're only 10 feet wide, so you don't need blocking down there. And it's a shop, it's a storage room, it's a shed. I'm okay with that. I don't care if I have a squeak here or there on the floor. It doesn't really break my heart. So I put an X on the rafters that are going to break on my 2x10s, so that I know which ones that I'm going to do. And then I need to, when I cut these, I'm going to cut them at an angle so that they stay nice and even. Over the years, they won't, when they weather, they won't split. I did the same thing on the main cabin, so I'm pretty happy with this. Nice. Man, I'm gonna have sawdust in me forever. All right. Let's see if this will work. Shall we? All right, that's not going to work on the first one. On the first one, move those screws. I can live with that. We're going to try and make it level, but I don't really see any reason to bother with that. The whole idea here is that I'm one guy, and I can only do so much when it comes to holding a board. I don't want to fight it. So I'll put 4 good screws in here to hold it in place. Do the same thing down the other end, and then I'll take my 18 inches off of here. So it's a little wider than the normal gap, but I think that'll work. Oh. Get up there. Get up there. Okay. Come on. Nice. I think that'll work. Should have 18 inches hanging from the front side now. Probably gonna have to trim it. Well, I know I'm gonna have to trim it. Nailed it. Nice. Okay. Next one. There's my X. There's half the rafter. That was a bigger hassle than it needed to be. That was a one-person job. So I'm hanging 18 inches. 18 inches on that side as well. Now I got to do the top, and I got to hang the exact amount. I'm going to go up and I'm going to pull the 8-inch or the 8-foot mark and see if I end up on the, I should end up right in the middle of a rafter again, which would be awesome. That means I can cut these next ones the exact same size. All right, this has got me stymied a bit. So I'm probably going to call it a day because I got a steak out of the freezer I want to grill. And then I'll get back to this tomorrow. All I got to do is get this last fascia board on the front. It's only 3 boards, and once I figure it out, it'll go quick. But I did get something that was pretty cool from one of the local Facebook Funny River people. $70 feet of gutter for free. So I can get gutters on the cabin before winter hits. I just have to figure out how you lay these out so that you know, the snow doesn't wipe them out. that's going to do it. Thank you guys as always for watching. I'm Sean in Alaska. Have yourself a great week. Next is purlins, the end boards, and then metal on the rough. And then there's sheeting. I got to do that too.